Okay, so let's start today's video on a follow-up to the video I made about rev bombing and the dangers of rev bombing, which is basically in effect dumping your clutch with too many revs, and you know, you can pop a wheelie or whiskey throttle it. Basically, if you're going to rev bomb, just be very aware of your clutch, but check the video out and you'll see what I banged on about in there. But I got some feedback from that video. On the older riders, they were asking, well, what is a rev bomb and what's the point of it? And well, it's fun. That's the point of a rev bomb. I mean, you'll be riding along and then all of a sudden you just want to just give it some revs. So, you know, it's just a fun thing to do, especially when you're in a tunnel. I said to the older guys who was asking, I was like, well, what do you do when you go into a tunnel there? He's like, well, just go faster. It's like, well, okay, I suppose that makes sense, but it's far more fun to rev bomb. But I had a lot of people come back to me and say, oh yeah, I rev bomb a lot, especially when somebody cuts me up. And that's why I'm recording this video, because please do not rev bomb when somebody is cutting you up. In rev bombs, they're to be used, you know, when you're fully in control. But if someone's cutting you up, why would you use a rev bomb? Well, people say, well, look, my hand's already on the controls. It is far easier to just pull the clutch in, rev, and then, you know, because I'm already there, I just pull the clutch in and I rev, and I can just say to people like this. But the thing is, cars are not programmed to hear revs. They just think, oh, what's that bike doing? Or is that a boy racer car? Or maybe your pipes aren't really that loud. Maybe they got the music absolutely blaring. Revs are, they're just not a compensation for the horn. And then people turn around and say, well, yeah, but I can't find my horn. Well, you can find your indicators, you can find your horn. Just practice, practice. You know, all you got to do is move your thumb. But again, if someone's about to pull out in front of me, if I can see that they're about to pull out in front of me, or I can see it's a blind turn and I want to let people know I'm there, yeah, happily slowly reach for it and alert people. But if they're just pulling out in front of me, first thing I'm going to do is get myself out of danger before I even think about beeping the horn or alerting them. The horn is there to just pre-warn people that you are here. I mean, I had a guy have a go at me where I thought he was going to pull out in front of me, so I beat my horn at him, just a little toot toot, and the lights changed red. He comes next to me, he's like, what's your problem? And I was like, well, what's the horn for? And he's like, well, let people know you're there. I was like, exactly, I didn't think you knew I was there. He was like, well, I did know you were there. I was like, well, I didn't know that, so I beat my horn at you. Is there a problem? He's like, well, no, I suppose not. No, there isn't, mate. I have no idea where I am. It's very pretty though. Yeah, people are not programmed to listen for revs. I mean, watch this guy here when I go past. Couldn't give a shit. Rev there, couldn't give a crap. But watch this guy when I go past. She looked, because she's thinking, well, that's a horn. Especially when you start tooting it and beeping it louder, then people are programmed to look out for that. The whole point of having a horn is to let people know that you're there. So, like this van pulling out now, if he was edging a little bit more forward, I would have gone on the horn. But if I rev bomb him, it ain't going to make a blind bit of difference to that guy. The other thing is, when you rev bomb, you are not in control of your bike. Number one, you got revs really high. So if your revs are really high, you've got to let your clutch out slowly. Right now, I'm in, well, 4,000 RPM, my clutch is out, so I've got full throttle here when I want it. If I have revs high up and I've got to ease my clutch out, I've got to wait till my clutch is out before I've got that power. And that power could be needed to get me away from whatever the danger is that's happening. The other thing is, to rev bomb, you have to pull in your clutch. And so when your clutch is in, you've got no drive to your rear wheel, and if ever you pull your clutch in while you're moving along, it's, you know, you just lose your centrifugal force holding you down, and again you just haven't got the control. So you see, like there, I gave a little bit too much revs. That was actually my mistake, not even trying to imitate a rev bomb. But you see, I had no drive. I couldn't go forward because I'm having to slowly get that clutch out because I gave a little bit too much revs there. And if a car's pulling out in front of me and I need to quickly zip away, well, I don't want to be not able to go forwards. So you see, coming here on this corner, look, I'm coming up to the corner, I pull my clutch in, I'm just drifting now. I've got no engine braking, I've got no instant throttle. You just don't want to be pulling your throttle in unless you're coming to a stop. I mean, just go round a roundabout and pull your clutch in and feel how unnervy that is. Are you telling me in a dangerous situation you want to not have full control over your bike? So if you're riding along and you're seeing a car's about to pull out in front of you, all you got to do is that. I mean, just a quick look down, but you only do that when you've got the time to do so. If there is danger approaching you, then get yourself out of that danger always. Don't worry about telling the driver off or how you're right and they're wrong. Get yourself safe. If you're coming along and you see a car, you're on dual carriageway, car to your left, and you think that car is going to pull out in front of me, and you're riding along and you're going, don't pull out, don't pull out. In your head you need to be saying, if you pull out, what can I do? And you're going to have options. The options are back off, just come off the accelerator, add a little brake, and, you know, just let that car pull out in front of you. The other option is get yourself out of that danger by accelerating. Just quickly blip the throttle. Because you're on a bike, you can just quickly zip past people, get yourself away from the danger. Or the third option is the one you want to avoid, which is avoidance, swerve avoidance. So say this bike pulled out in front of me and I've got to just quickly weave out of the way, or this dog jumps out and I've got to weave. That's a bit too close for comfort. I'd rather be, that dog's about to jump, I'll quickly just zip out the way, or I'll back off and let him do it, and the same with cars. What you don't want to be doing is rev bombing. Telling a car off, you know, like, oh, I'm on a bike, look how loud it is, you know, woo, like that. Cars don't care, and you lose control of drive. You also lose control of being able to come on the brakes, because if you've got the throttle wound fully on, you're coming off to come on the brakes. It's just not the one. I mean, by all means, rev bomb them once you're out of the danger, but if a car's about to pull in front of me now, I don't want to be pulling in my clutch and revving. I want to be coming on the brakes or getting myself out of the danger. That is one big ass tractor. You know yourself, if you're a driver and you're driving along and you hear a beep, first thing you do is just look around and see, where's that coming from? Is it me? Did I do something wrong? You know, all those thoughts go through your head. You hear somebody go along and go, you think, what's that prick doing? Nice old boy. So in summary, rev bombs are very fun. Do them. Go past your mates, give them a rev bomb. Go under a tunnel, do a rev bomb. But they're when you choose to do it, not to be done to alert cars that you're there, not to be done to tell cars off. That's what the horn is for. Cars are programmed to listen for horns. Car drivers are programmed to listen to car horns. Another big ass tractor. as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope that was useful. Catch you on the next vid.